The results from our work package tie in really well with what's been found so far. The information from the survey, we did an online survey, that gave us really good factual information which backed up sort of stories and anecdotes that people felt was correct but didn't really have the evidence to go on. So we've triangulated that from survey, from focus groups, from policy advice, from a whole range of local interviews and so on, case studies, and it all points to the same direction of looking for ideas of best practice in terms of the big issues being really communication, raising awareness, and providing leadership skills for people in the areas. I don't mean MBA type leadership, I mean leadership of how to actually achieve practical things and how to get these things done locally. Key findings were that people were, we asked a lot of people in different areas, community leaders, business people, a lot of small business people replied, local authorities, development agencies, and there was an overwhelming feeling that was they had vibrant communities, a lot of things were happening, but they weren't necessarily picked up by agencies further away from the community itself. And so there's obviously, they identified a real communication problem. It wasn't the fact that nothing was happening in rural areas or in isolated groups and isolated areas. It was the fact that people didn't necessarily speak the same dialect. And so the trouble of identifying innovation was to find the key movers and shakers, which might not be the obvious local leaders. It might be just people who know the way around the community. And so the comparison was made between, digital social networks and social networks of real people. Who's the person I go to find out about such, and how do you make these connections? And from that, there was a real feeling that there needed to be more effort by the agencies, really, to raise awareness of what the opportunities for innovation were. By which I mean there's lots of things available, lots of programs and even funding available, but if it's not communicated in a way that people actually understand how to make use of these things, then they have expectations and unmet needs, and the agencies are sitting back wondering why people don't come forward for the funding, because the funding is actually geared towards some such solution which people perceive as not a problem.